the black trunks and white spandex.
Might have a guillotine in there from the side. Not going to get a whole lot of leverage on that, but it doesn't feel good.
And actually, Travis is trapped. Matt got his arm trapped in there, which was, he put it in there himself. So sending some knees. Yeah, because he actually tried to reach Travis's elbow to pull it off, and he couldn't grab it. So thought I better do some damage so he can get that grip strength off me.
Travis might be setting up to walk the cage here in reverse position.
You're really seeing Matt Stringham trying to get out of this. It looked like he was about to slip out. Oh, there crossface will get him out. Nice. This is where he wants to be.
See if he can jump mount. There it is. Yep, jumps right into mount. Travis trying to walk the cage again.
Oh, and almost reverses the position, but he might have put himself in a bad position. We'll see what Matt Stringham could make of this. If he can stretch him out, we're going to see.
Hooks.
We may end up with another first rounder. And I think this is where the strength.
Crossface right now.
Matt really relaxed now. He's just kind of taking his time, trying to get that position, and it looks like he sunk it in there.
Slipped it in, yep.
Matt, obviously very experienced, 15 cage fights. And Travis Paris, not as comfortable on the ground, so this isn't the position he wants to be in. His corner telling him to breathe, and I think he just got to keep his hand on that wrist and don't let him sink that back in. There, he's pretty much has the arm of Matt Stringham. He doesn't want to be back in that position. Travis, very comfortable working that cage. Wow, that felt like a 2-minute round. That was quick. Maybe the timekeeper's getting tired too. I think maybe Matt Stringham is a little surprised that it was more difficult than he thought to sink in that rear naked.
Where would you go with the first round?
I'd have to give that to Matt.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think Paris would, you know, the only problem with Paris on his feet is that Matt looks very comfortable on his feet, and he looks like he's ready for a defensive move. When guys stand too tall, they're not ready for defense. It's really hard to move, and it's hard to move your head, but Matt's already in position for defense. And if you're in position for defense, you're also in position to come back and fire. So far, we've made it out of round one. We haven't had a 5-rounder yet tonight, even though these title fights have been scheduled for 5 rounds. Those of you out there watching, thank you so much for joining us on cagefightinglive.com. You can also check out their other listing of fights coming up. We have 3 fights scheduled for next weekend. I will be at Beatdown at the Dow. That's live from the Dow Center in Saginaw. It's a co-promotion of TXC and the Impact Fight League. We also have Genesis Fight League live from the Gibraltar Trade Center in Mount Clemens. And Ground and Pound is going to have an event as well. But theirs is going to be tape delayed and rebroadcast the next day in Owasso, from Owasso, Michigan. So you'll get a chance to get a double dipping next weekend. All right, here we go. We're going to see how long Matt keeps it standing. Matt in the tight black trunks. Travis in the basketball shorts. Oh, comes in with a straight left. Jab. I think he's hoping to catch Matt with one of those, but Matt doesn't stay up for long. Matt trying to do some damage, and Travis's team telling him to run the cage, get out of that position.
Hear the corner yelling, push off the cage, push off the cage.
Yeah, you don't want to be sandwiched down there when you don't have as much leverage. Oh, giving Matt an opportunity to take mount, yep.
Get some hooks in too.
You know, Travis trying to reverse the position, but as you just said, Matt sinks those hooks in and made it impossible for him to do so. Trying to posture up, and this is where he can do a lot of damage. Giving the back up again. Over. Maybe he's confident.
Feel comfortable there, yeah.
Unless he just did not want to feel any leather from mount position. Tough a little bit for us to see what kind of damage he's doing right now, but he's trying to sink it in, and Travis is trying to keep that chin tucked, but Matt really trying to work on that rear naked. You're seeing a lot of blood in the mouth of Travis Paris, and Joel Chapman got to keep a close eye on this to see if, because you know some guys will go out instead of tap out,
Absolutely,
right?
Yep.
Oh, and he lost the
jumps
position.
over, tries to take them out.
Maybe he wants to go from exciting grounded pound from a side position, and actually Travis keeping his hand, he's trying to get a hold of Matt's one arm and then loses it. Travis definitely not comfortable on his back. Maybe he's got to take some jiu-jitsu classes to learn that relaxation from the bottom sometimes. But Matt climbing his way up high so that Travis can't do anything with his hips or his arms.
I like what Matt does with his center of gravity. He sprawls his legs out and leaves the center of his body right up over the torso.
Oh,
big knee.
A huge knee to the face, but that's, you know, some fighters that brings you out swinging, and a nice up kick too. That's smart. You don't see enough fighters utilizing that as a weapon. You know what's great? A real fighter, you see both of them got cracked, and it made them fight harder, and I love to see that. Matt came up a little too high trying to get that mount and couldn't pull it off. Travis is not like being on his back, and I think that's where you're going to see some jits classes coming his way in the near future.
Very uncomfortable. Might have a tap out. Matt Stringham holds his belt.
And the last 10 seconds pulls off a submission. But I'm thinking Matt thought this was a lot more work than he expected it to be, because I think he thought once he had Travis Paris on the ground that it would be good night Irene, but Travis fought those off, a lot of submissions. But again, I would suggest Travis Paris has got to get some jits classes, because when you can get into that relaxation mode when you're on your back and you know how to work from down there, it kind of changes the composition of the fight.
Slow things down a little bit and try to feel your way out of it.
Matt moving to 11-5 and retaining the title, the 205. Is that where we're at right now? It's 205. These are your boys. Got a chance to see some more.
A little bit more scouting right there.
Your winner and still champion, Matt Nightmare Stringham.
You know, I think the only problem with Travis, he put his hands together beautifully, but I think he's used to knocking people out with those, because he did land a couple shots, but Matt was able to take them, and because Travis did use his hands nicely.
This time we are going to do our 50-50 draw.
All right, once again, thank you to IQ Enterprise for your sponsorship. Avid Inc. on Cedar Street in Holt, Michigan. FightMichigan.com and LovedByAPitbull.com.
Right here, $245. One of you in here is going to win this $245. We're going to have Amber here draw your ticket. Please get out your 50-50 tickets. $245 to somebody that can buy a lot. No, I'm Superman. I'm not that good. Travis wants one.
Did you say beer?
He said I could buy a lot of beer.
How do people buy beer nowadays with the gas prices?
Yeah, right?
There's always a beer fund, right?
Most definitely.
I'm Canadian, so clearly for my people, there's always a beer fund.
Absolutely. Nothing like sitting back, drinking a beer and watching the hockey game, right?
Are you sure you're not a Canuck?
At heart, maybe a little bit.
311.
Unfortunately, the angles where the blue corner or the red corner are, we're not seeing as many spectators, but if you're at the other ends, there's a lot of people here tonight having a good time at the Causeway Bay Hotel in Lansing, and it's a great hotel. These are bragging fights. Tonight, 21 fights on the card. We had
one fight left this evening, and that is your main event. Before we move on, let's thank some of these vendors, ladies and gentlemen. MMA Unlimited, Title Boxing over there, IQ Enterprise, Vivid Inc., pounds, ladies and gentlemen. FightMichigan.com. I can't stress enough how much information you can find at FightMichigan.com. Any event, any city, check it out. And let's give a big round of applause for Total Warrior Combat, TWC MMA tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for putting this show on for all of you. Now, who wants to see the main event title fight of the evening? Let me introduce first the challenger. 4,135-pound TWC belt. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, CJ Spurlock.
All right, CJ coming in, and again, the little feisty ones for the main event, looking for their title fight tonight. 135-5'11", coming in at the record of 6 wins, 1 loss, 3, I think that's actually 5 submissions, 1 KO, so has not gone the distance yet, but this will be 5 rounds tonight. Comes from a jiu-jitsu background out of Kalamazoo. A lot of Kalamazoo fighters here tonight. Matt Shaw is his coach and is excited because this is his first opportunity for a title fight. He lost by guillotine his last fight, February 26th. And he knows his opponent is a strong wrestler. He's sponsored by Endurance Fitness and Brawl and Mall Fightwear. And Shay, my broadcast partner, is laughing because it says other sports you participated in, pimpin'. All right, CJ. Maybe that's why you're nicknamed Nasty.
There we go.
His gym is The Lab out of Kazoo. 135-pound pimp slap. We'll see if he pulls that out of the arsenal tonight. Dunbar, AKA American Badass. I guess it's got to be a bummer when there's a sweet nickname out there.
Right?
Everyone just wants to steal it. He has a record of 5-2. He represents Freedom MMA and Conquer MMA, another one that has to, travel a little bit to get the best training out of Fremont, Michigan. He's kind of has a wrestling background, and Ben Cummings also in his corner. Ben, I think he needs a bottle of water. He's been working his butt off tonight. He is a 2-time all-state high school wrestler and 2 years with community college in Muskegon and the wrestling team there. A big thanks goes out to his Aunt Mert and Uncle Bob. They've been raising him and supporting him in all his sports, so and that always helps, man, when you have your family behind you. How do your parents feel about you fighting?
Well, my mom's not the biggest fan of it. She comes out and supports me, but...
with her hands over her eyes,
yes,
right?
Yes, yeah. Definitely.
I used to ban my sister from my fights because she would just cry if I get hit. And I used to tell her, I'm like, it's like when you swim, you're going to get wet. If you fight, you're going to get hit. But I would think about her crying, so I would have to tell her, you're not allowed, you're done. It's over, you're not coming back. All right, so again, Don Dunbar putting his belt on the line tonight, and CJ Spurlock trying to take that from him. CJ in the black and red trunks, whereas we have the champion, Don Dunbar, in the black and white. Let's go up to Michael Corwin with the official introductions.
Standing 5'11", inches tall, ladies and gentlemen, CJ Nasty!